The personal luxury car. This was a car that was popular in the mid-70s. It was always a two-door coupe that seated four, was a V8 in the front and rear-wheel drive most of the time. Emission regulations and Detroit's inability to figure out how to make low emissions work with high horsepower output led to an abrupt end of the muscle car. Detroit pivoted to luxury. They had to give people a reason to buy new cars, and they felt this was something they could sell.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?
But of course.
Every manufacturer had a personal luxury car. Buick had the Regal, Olds had the Cutlass, Chevrolet had the Monte Carlo, Pontiac had the Grand Prix, Ford offered the Thunderbird and Mercury Cougar, but they felt there was room for just one more car in between the Thunderbird and the Gran Torino. And that's the car we're going to look at today. Today I bring you the Ford Elite.
In the spirit of the times, Ford introduces America's youngest luxury car. Ford Gran Torino Elite. Gran Torino Elite, a timely luxury car with the mid-size economy so appropriate to today's driving. And in the Thunderbird tradition, luxury interiors and standard features like automatic transmission, power steering and power brakes, luxuriously thick carpeting, twin opera windows and vinyl roof. Gran Torino Elite, designed for the times with timely features like steel-belted radial ply tires standard, a superb engine that runs on regular gas, and a big 26.5-gallon fuel tank. All standard at Elite's mid-size price. America's youngest luxury car. Look in at your local Ford dealer. Elite. The closer you look, the better we look.
The Elite was introduced in February of 1974 as the top-of-the-line Torino, and it was advertised and branded as the Gran Torino Elite. It was in reality a Mercury Cougar with some Thunderbird styling thrown at it, and it did not resemble a Torino. The standard power plant was either the 351 Windsor or the 351 Cleveland, both with a 2-barrel carburetor. Ford looked at these engines as interchangeable, and which one a buyer received depended on where and when the car was built. Structurally, these are different engines, however, Ford rated them both at 165 horsepower, and both were mated to a 3-speed automatic transmission. The standard features for the Gran Torino Elite included power front disc brakes, power steering, direct air ventilation, steel-belted radial tires, impact-resistant front and rear bumpers, which were then mandated by the federal government, front bumper guards, dual-note horn, a clock, 25-ounce cut-pile carpeting, a deluxe steering wheel, vanity visor mirrors, wheel body side moldings, a full vinyl roof with opera windows, and unique Elite wheel covers. The wood-tone instrument panel included a tachometer, fuel gauge, oil, temp, and amp gauges. The option list was long and included air conditioning, an anti-theft alarm system, electric rear window defroster, power windows and locks, a power driver's seat, and an AM/FM 8-track stereo, amongst others. Options only found on the Elite included lighted vanity mirrors, wire wheel covers, deep dish aluminum wheels, manual reclining passenger seat, and a heavy-duty electrical system. Ford delivers 96,604 Gran Torino Elites in 1974.
Introducing a mid-size car in the Thunderbird tradition, the new 1975 Ford Elite. Everywhere you look in Elite, you find the spirit of Thunderbird. In its impressive array of standard equipment, in its richly appointed interiors, there's even the Thunderbird-inspired moonroof, if you like. Elite is designed in the spirit of the times, with mid-size operating economy, steel-belted radial ply tires, and a 26.5-gallon fuel tank. For the tradition of Thunderbird in a mid-size car at a mid-size price, it's Ford Elite. There's nothing quite like it anywhere in the world. The closer you look, the better we look. See for yourself at your local Ford dealer.
1975 sees the Elite become a separate model from the Torino, and it is simply called the Ford Elite. The standard engine remains a 351, however it is the 148 horsepower 351M. a 158 horsepower 400 cubic inch V8, and a 216 horsepower 4-barrel 460 cubic inch V8 became options. All were backed by the Cruise-O-Matic 3-speed automatic transmission. New for 1975, Ford introduces solid-state ignition. New options included a power glass moonroof, metal glow paint, and a vacuum-operated fuel sentry gauge. There were little other changes of note, and Ford delivers 123,372 Elites in 1975. 1976 brings no changes of note to the Elite model at all. It is a complete carryover year, and despite its strongest sales numbers to date, with Ford delivering 146,475 Elites, 1976 would be its last year in production. The Elite's production was ended because Ford decided to restructure its entire full-size line. Cafe ratings were coming. The writing was on the wall. And the 351 two-barrel Elite averaged around 13 to 14 miles per gallon. I do not have the figures for the 464 barrel, but I can imagine they were way worse. Those type of numbers are not going to raise your average fuel consumption bar very much. The personal luxury car segment was huge in the 70s, and it had to be because horsepower was down. You couldn't sell horsepower in these cars because they didn't have any. They had a comfortable, smooth ride, but quarter mile times were abysmal. 19 to 20 seconds was right around where these cars would run the quarter in.
You're speeding, I can see it.
No, Miss Daisy, no. We're only doing about 19 miles an hour.
Now, these cars could go 120 miles per hour plus if the road was long enough and straight enough. And that road had to be straight because the ride on these cars, we used to call it a boat ride. It kind of floated along, which was very nice along the America's highways, not so great on the curves. This car and the Torino's replacement was the LTD2. It was smaller. It was very similar to the Ford Thunderbird, also, which was new in 1977. Of course, that's a story for another day. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That way other people see it. Also, consider subscribing. There's plenty of videos like this on my channel. Like this one over here, it's on the Ford Torino. We cover all the Torinos, pretty much everything. I put 40 hours into that video because I like Torinos. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you.